Well, 2 weeks since I last checked in, so see how the last 2 weeks have gone. We've had a average week and a fairly good week, but you can see it for yourself. Hi everyone, Dave here, Anvil Logistics, and this is now the 24th of July and it's a Wednesday. And of course, I'm intending to do these week in the life now as a 2 week in the life because I think that it got a bit same old. In fact, I might change back, but at the moment we're going to go for the 2 weeks. So we've already had 2 days into the first of the working weeks, and I'm just going to interject every now and again with a little video clip to say how the week is going. So this week, after a cracking week last week, we started on Monday full of optimism, and we started with a booking that was given to me by my regular customers, which was one of the decent pay jobs that you get where you get paid from leaving your house. And it was basically up to Lancashire, do a collection, which was one large pallet, and take that to Mansfield. And it gives you a good day's pay actually for the job. It probably takes you 2.5 hours maybe to get to Mansfield, but it takes you an hour and a bit to get up to Lancashire as well, where I was going. So you could call it half a day's work, but it's almost a full day's rate. And I managed to get myself a backload on the Courier exchange from NG16, which was 6 miles away from where I was in Mansfield, and that went to Bolton. And picked that up, got that, and I got home nice and early with a good day's takings. Not record breaking, but more than satisfied with what I took. Which went into Tuesday. Now, like a lot of people, the company that gives me a lot of my work, they're not all that busy. A couple of their customers have changed the way they operate, etc. They're trying to cut costs. So the net result is not as much work all the time for everybody. So there are days when you miss out. And as it happens, I got a call to say, look, it's not all that busy tomorrow, but you can, if you wish, do a document run. Now the document runs, as you know, I've done before, go from Southport or Liverpool, and you get a good pay, but you don't get home till late. So one, I didn't particularly want to do it, but I would have done it if necessary. Some of the drivers who work on this company, they do not have any other means of getting work. They are solely 100% committed to them. They don't have Courier exchange, for example. So if they don't get any work off them, that's all they can do. So what I said was, in order to make it look like I was being generous, I said, look, if you need that covering, I'll do it. But if there's drivers out there who are standing down, who haven't got any work, give it them. Because I can try and pick up something on the Courier exchange. Which makes me sound magnanimous rather than saying, I don't particularly want to do that job. I would have done it if they couldn't have covered it. But I didn't want a late night really. I've got a few issues at home and I wanted to be home. Nothing bad, but you know, there were a few things that need sorting out. So that meant that I went on the Tuesday morning looking for work on the Courier exchange, and I bought loads of bids in. I didn't get anything. In the end, I managed to get one local job, and I got messaged by Freddie Fletcher Limited, James, as you know, asking me if I wanted to do a job for him, which meant collecting the goods in the afternoon and then taking them down to Ipswich. And James pays a fair price, and now at loose end, so I thought, why not? So I went and picked up the goods and got myself home early. And then I got up really early this morning and got myself down and delivered to Ipswich area, to a communications tower, about 8 o'clock this morning. So, but at the same time, he also offered me some more work for the next day or the same day, if you like, leading to the next day, which was essentially go and collect some hazardous goods from Lutterworth and then get them back home, up to Manchester or whatever, and then the next day deliver them in an SG postcode. Okay, Letchworth. So I readily agreed to that because that gets really well paid. And that meant I was sorted out money-wise for the next couple of days. So that's what I did. I went to Lutterworth. I did try and see if I could pick something up heading up towards Lutterworth from where I was, but I couldn't get anything. So I thought, sack it. I drove up there, met another guy in a Luton van who was loading up the tall cabinets. I picked up all the batteries. And what I worked out was that I could drive back to Manchester. The job was paid that way. Or I could stay down here because it's only actually an hour and a bit to Letchworth from Lutterworth, and maybe find a hotel if it's reasonable enough because of the fuel up, and then I'll be getting up super early again the next morning to get down for 8 o'clock. So that's what I've done. I'm in a hotel. I am in the, what's it called? I'll tell you on the keys. The Red Wings Lodge on the A1 in Baldock, which is kind of to the west of Milton Keynes. And I'm 14 minutes away from where I'm actually dropping the goods off tomorrow. I'll drop the goods off tomorrow, and then I'll see if I can get myself a backload back up north, and then see what Friday brings. So I'll let you know how we do. But this hotel, very reasonable, 50 quid, and includes breakfast. It's not a full chat, artery clogging breakfast like I would normally like. But it's like, you know, cereal, toast, tea, coffee. That'll do. Might as well. I can get that in the morning before I go and deliver my goods, can't I? So we'll see how the rest of the week goes. Like I say, I'll be just doing little quick updates in and out over the next fortnight. And then I'll just bring out a video of that. Catch you in a bit. Thursday today, 25th. My job for James went absolutely fine earlier on. Got myself a little part backload up towards Leeds, and then got myself an ADR job where I am now, and I've come across a bit of a problem. I've come across this one before. Basically, I'm doing an ADR job that I got off the CX, and it's going to Grimsby. I've quoted full ADR rate for it, and it's about 900 kilograms of corrosive material on 2 pallets. As you know, I'm in a long wheelbase Volkswagen Crafter, and they've refused to load me because they will not put more than 1 pallet on a panel van. They can either put 1 pallet on the back door, 1 pallet on the side door, or they could shove 2 pallets up, doesn't bother to me. But they will neither load on a side door nor shunt down the van. So I can have 1 pallet, which obviously is no good. I'll ask them what kind of van's acceptable, so I can go back to the shipping company and tell them. And they either will only want a 7.5 ton or a curtain side vehicle to come in for them. So I've rung the shipping company. They are going to obviously ring their customers, get back to me, and ask me what I would charge. I've told them I want 50% of the job because I am on site and I've had to travel obviously to get here, and I'm waiting for them to get back to me. But have you ever come across this before? It's the first time I've come across this particular issue. Apparently, according to one of the forklift drivers, they've had a few incidents where the forklifts have struck vans and they must have had some claims against them. But if they can't drive the forklifts properly, that's their problem, isn't it? There's no reason why they should be hitting vans. Anyway, we'll wait and see what happens. Well, the upshot is, just over an hour later, that I ain't taking it. They rang the customers, who rang the shippers, who did all these kind of things, and then it was decided I was just going to take 1. So I went back in, and the shift had changed. And the supervisor of that shift said, no, we're not splitting an order. So I got his name, ran the shipper back, and the shippers just said, pull off, leave it, we're going to charge you. So I'm getting paid half my fee plus waiting time, and I won't be going to Grimsby. So it is what it is. Never had that before. Something that's worth watching out for in future, innit? Anyway, we brush it off, we carry on. At least we got some money out of it. Hi everyone. Right, let me just check this is recording. It is. Right, it's Monday the 29th. It is 2:30 and we're getting out of Stoke. So I'll give you a brief rundown. Last week finished. Friday I did one little job and did nothing else. Did a little job in the morning and found it difficult to bid for work. Got fed up and I buggered off home. So how did the week finish last week? Well, we made our target, and that is it. We made the target that I set myself and effectively did 3.5 days work to get that. Mainly because of the work that was given to me by James. They kind of boosted my week up quite a bit. So thank you, James, from Fleddy Fletcher Limited. This week, I had a great weekend, a bit tiring, but I had a gig on Friday night with the band. Saturday night went out with my good lady wife, and Sunday spent it in the constant, never-ending refurb of the back garden. I had a booking this morning off my regular customers, which I did early on this morning. Finished up in the Manchester area, but it's one of the good paid jobs, and thought I'd just get a little top up for the day if I can. And it took me 2 hours to get a job on the CX. I probably put around 20 bids in. Then ended up getting this job going to Stoke-on-Trent, which I've got for a reasonable rate per mile. But now time's getting on and the traffic has been horrendous today everywhere I've been. The kids are off school. You think the traffic would be kinder, but it hasn't been. And to be honest with you, it's roasting out there. I've got the aircon on. It's currently 28 degrees Celsius, which might not sound a lot to a lot of people, but to me, that is the raging tropics. So I've decided I'm going home. Just under an hour home. And the day's take will be decent anyway, thanks mainly to my existing customer. So I'll let you know how the week goes on as the week goes. Well, a couple of things that cropped up that I'll just have a quick mention about. One of the things, I do follow Facebook, and on Facebook there are courier driver groups. And one thing that did interest me slightly, and I will not mention the names, that someone who posts work quite regular on the Courier Exchange had named and shamed a courier company to say, don't use these. And I think what had happened was they'd taken a job off this shipper or shipping company or whatever you want to call them. And then the job was done, but something was damaged. And it turns out that when he approached them about the damaged items and said, it's £600 or I think that was the figure, they then said, well, we didn't actually do that job. They'd given it to somebody else, and I don't think they had any insurance. And I think it named and shamed to warn people about using this company and possibly to elicit a little bit of sympathy. However, what struck me is that on the comments, he didn't really get much sympathy. The general gist of the comments was, if you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. Serves you right for going for the cheapest quote, etc., etc. And then he did actually take the time to answer people. And then some people were saying, well, I bid on your work at a reasonable price and I never get it, so you must be giving it away cheap, etc. So he didn't get much sympathy, and what it does illustrate to me is that people are struggling to get work on the CX unless
I'm only saying the CX as an example here, just in case the CX police are watching, because that is the only platform I will use. Apart from delivery, I rarely get any work on that anyway. And people are thinking, well, what do you want us to do this work for? Are you quite happy for us to work for less than minimum wage? Because you're selling the job so cheap that we can't make any profit whatsoever. And we do need to make a profit as an owner driver, because we need to pay ourselves a wage besides meet a running cost. So, and it does seem that, many of the people who post work on here just actively look for the cheapest price. Not everyone, I will say that. Some people want a good job doing and will look for feedback and maybe are prepared to pay a fair price. But lots of them, and some of the bigger ones as well, I will include in this, are just simply looking to sell it as cheaply as possible. And then possibly wonder why that the stuff doesn't get there on time, if at all, or it's damaged, because it's going to people who might be selling the job on to somebody else or passing it on to a mate to do it in his 1998 Transit that's held together with patches of rust and's got no insurance. Because it's all very well for me, it's nothing stopping me bidding for a job, and they look and say, oh, look at him, he's got a very modern van, he's got good feedback, there's all his insurance details, and then I don't do it. I just tell my next door neighbour, who's a builder, who's got a bit of spare time, go and do that for me in your van, and I'll give you 50 quid. Because it's not policed very well, is it? So, anyway, that's just a little thought on a rant. I'll let you know how the rest of the week goes. As we know, we're into week 2 now, because I'm intending to go on fortnightly. Wednesday, 31st of July, last day of the month, to get your invoices in if you're working on platforms like the Courier exchange, which I am not doing today. Yesterday, Tuesday, just did the one job, but it was a bit of a pain. It was a job for me, own customer, and it was to take a box down to Yeovil, but it needed to be there before 10 o'clock. So somebody else collected the goods for me on Monday, dropped them off at my house Monday evening. I went doing my rehearsals, got back in, and had to get up at 3:30 in the morning. I felt like having a little cry when I got up, because I didn't get to bed as early as I would have liked, because I had rehearsals. So it was probably about 10:30 when I got into bed, and I would have killed for some more sleep. But we got it down to Yeovil. Traffic was a bit crap on the way down, considering the kids are off school. But I got it done and dusted for about 9:30 a.m. And to be honest, I was pretty knackered. And there wasn't any work in that area at all going anywhere in the direction I would like to have gone. I mean, I've been pretty well paid for that job, although I would have liked a backload. I thought, well, I'll set a journey on my CX app, and I'll start the drive home and see if I can pick something up on the way back. And then disaster struck. I got on the M5, I was only on it for about a mile and a half, and there was an accident, and it was shut, and I was there for 2 hours. It was baking hot. I had my aircon on, but obviously to have your aircon on, you've got to keep your engine running. So I hope Grace is not watching this. And then they started to get everybody off, and they ended up getting us off at a junction, letting us through by the hard shoulder to the next exit, which took ages. And then you had to sort of like all go through this town to get to the next junction up, and it took ages. So much so that I just was that tired and hot and miserable, I just lost interest entirely. Drove on, but I didn't get home till about 5:30 in the evening, and I was knackered last night. So I had a shower, had something to eat at home, had a chat with the wife, generally monged around, and I already knew I had another job today for my regular customers, which was to collect goods in the Lancashire area around 7:30, and I'm taking them to Fareham near Portsmouth, which is what I'm doing at the moment. I'll get into Fareham probably about 12:30. Traffic has been pretty mint. I'd show you myself on the split camera, but I've not got that particular app on. But if you look in my trendy mirrored sunglasses, you can see the motorway is moving pretty clear. So again, decent paying job this, and I will look to see if we can grab a backload and put a future journey on. There's nothing suitable come up yet. Or if there's something really tasty coming out tomorrow, or coming out this afternoon for delivery tomorrow, I might consider staying down. But we'll see. But so far the week, money-wise, is well on target. So we're not complaining. I've only done the one job on the Courier exchange, which was Monday. And we're ticking over all right. Hope everyone else is doing all right at the moment. It'd be interesting to see on your comments, how are you all doing out there at the moment? Are you struggling? Are you making ends meet? Are things working out for you all? I know that there don't seem to be as much chat in the WhatsApp group I'm in now. Probably people got a bit bored putting on there, to be honest. But so my finger's not on the pulse. I do chat a lot with the other guys from the YouTube group, but pretty much know what they're doing all the time anyway. It's interesting to see, for the sake of other people, how is everyone doing? Because I find when I do use the Courier exchange, it is difficult to secure work for anything like a reasonable price, unless it's a specialist job, such as a hazardous load. So please give me some feedback so that we can pass it on to others. Aside from that, fans running fine. It is still a hot day. It's supposed to be a storm breaking in the south, so around lunchtime, so I might be there in time for some rain. And I've got a nice, fairly empty M40 ahead of me at the moment. Thursday today, 1st of August. And you're just catching me at the bottom on the A50. And I'm heading up towards Blackburn at the moment. But go back to yesterday. I did that job to Portsmouth. Got there, got delivered, no problem. I could not get a backload to save my life. There was nothing worth bidding on that make it worth staying down there for. And I drove home without a return load. I had the feed on, and I did put plenty of bids in for what little work there was, but nothing, no success. So we chalked yesterday down as a loser, really, because although on paper, if you look at the figures for the day, I've took quite a lot of money because you get well paid to go down there. I haven't achieved anything at all coming back, and I would have liked to have done, to be perfectly honest. But anyway, you can't win them all, and we did obviously chuck a big invoice in for that job. Now today, by contrast, is a better day. I knew that I couldn't work late today, got something on after, so my customers have given me a job that fits in with what I want to do. Picked up from the same place I'd collected from yesterday. Again, well paid, because you get paid from leaving your house to collection, and then from collection to delivery. So absolutely no dead miles. That was in Coventry, and I picked up a hazardous load on the Courier exchange, and from Loughborough, which was just about 35 minutes away from where I dropped off, and that is going up to Blackburn. And I put the bid in, and they rang me within minutes and gave me the work. So That was a 12 o'clock pickup, but I did get there a bit earlier, and it was ready anyway. So we are making our way on the A50. We'll be in Blackburn probably 1:30, maybe 1:45, and we've got paid to go down to Coventry at a good rate, and we've got a hazardous load rate to go back to Blackburn. So today, by contrast, I'll have done a lot less miles than I did yesterday for more money. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Today, we chalk as a win-win for us, and I'll be home early. And the reason why I want to be home early is it's my son's birthday. He's not a baby anymore, he's 25 actually. But we're all going out as a family for a meal. So it's like the gathering of the clan. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't get snared up in any late work that make me miss it. And I'm sure they don't want me to miss it because it'll be me that's paying. So that just leaves us Friday to look forward to, and that'll complete the full 2 weeks. I'll give you an update Friday morning, and then I'll put the video together and send it out, and you'll be then seeing this by then.
Friday now, it's last day, and it's the last day of the 2 weeks of the life. And today, having suffered from open wallet surgery last night, having a family meal, finds me doing a document run for my customers. Now, I was asked to do this when I was on my way home yesterday, but it's actually a decent one because it's what we call a double. So I'm picking up documents from Southport and Liverpool. So I've done Liverpool already because you can get them about 12:30. And it's now 1:25 and I'm in the car park of the Southport place. So security's let me through, but they're really strict here and they won't come out till after 2 with the stuff. So just have to wait. Well, I've had something to eat and I'll get down to Hayes area where I'm going to meet another driver, transfer some documents over to him and then deliver them into Hayes. Probably 7, and then good 3.5 to 4 hours home, probably 4. So look at 11 o'clock get home. I don't mind because it's a double, it's really well paid. So we don't mind. And that means the week has been a good week, a really good week again this week. Made our money well over target, helps me put some away. But next week I'm doing 4 days because we've got a family birthday down south. And we're travelling up on the Friday because it's actually on a Friday night, this do. So we're going up on the Friday, we're staying over. And then we might even stay over another night as well. All depends. Depends if any of the chippies have got gravy. We'll see. So I've been happy with the last 2 weeks. I hope you find these 2 weeks of interest to you. Remember, questions, if you've got any, put them in the comments. I do get people contacting me direct, which is okay if I'm free, but I can't always deal with a telephone call when I'm busy trying to work myself. So I do much prefer, if you can, to put the comments in writing, either on the YouTube comments page or on the WhatsApp page, and I can respond to you as and when I get the chance. I do respond to people. But like I say, if you ring me out of the blue, if I'm not free, I can't speak to you. Nothing I can do about that. I hope that everyone out there has had a good time. The feed for the Courier Exchange didn't seem as busy to me in the earlier part of the videos that I did. But like, for example, it's rocking today, but I can't work it anyway because I'm doing this. So we shall see what next week brings. And I wish you all a very good weekend. And I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.